Joining us now is Candace Sampson from lifeinpleasantville.com, and she is here to tell us about Canada's Road Heroes, amazing Canadians from coast to coast who volunteer their time, not to mention wear and tear on their car, to get people where they need to go. Welcome, Candace. I've never heard of this.
I have never heard of this, which is, and there's a million ways to volunteer and donate your time around, but this is just one way that I thought was so unique, and I had no idea it was out there until Kal Tire approached me and asked me to help profile and share some of the winners from their Canada Road Hero contest that they ran on their social media.
Is this what you were coming down last week to tell us about when you had
I had a tire blowout. I don't know if it's irony or what, but I couldn't believe it. And it was so funny, not funny, but I guess lucky that I was just pulling off to get a coffee and I heard thunk, thunk, thunk. And I thought, oh gosh, what is that? And so I pulled off and I had these 3 massive holes in my tire. So obviously I wouldn't have made it here in time from Ottawa. So I had to wait until this week.
This week. Okay.
Anyway, so here I am. So I just wanted to share about this because it's amazing. And there's all these great ways you can actually, if you wanted to become a volunteer driver, there's a lot of amazing organizations out there that need them. And the one that really stood out for me was the Canadian Cancer Society. A lot of people, when they start treatment, they need to go every single day. And I mean, yes, they have family, but that can be wearing on a family as well when they have work obligations and other family obligations. So it's really important that those volunteer drivers are there. The Red Cross is always looking for volunteer drivers. Meals on Wheels is another one. Canadian National Institute for the Blind. They get people to where they need to be, but they also get volunteers to people who need them. So there's so many great ways to give back. And when they ran this contest, they had so many people come in that I was talking to them, and they said they were so lucky they had criteria in place to pick the winners ahead of time because it was overwhelming how many amazing Canadians there are who are doing this. But one of the winners was Diane, and she's sort of, I talk about her as she's like life goals. She's 78. And she drove 17,500 kilometers in her car last year, volunteer driving. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Right? Like 17,500 kilometers. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's more mileage than most people put on the whole year.
Well, yeah.
And going to work and back and groceries and whatever. That's amazing.
And she's so funny. I don't know if you're familiar with Stuart Reynolds, the Brittle Star on YouTube. He did
the
a video.
internet's favorite dad.
Yes.
Unconfirmed.
Well, we're not sure yet, but no, he's a lovely man. And he did a video for Kal Tire, and he profiled these. And he has Diane, and she also happens to be very witty. You should definitely look up the video. She's a card. And so she was looking to sort of, when she was volunteer driving, she was a mom, and like all moms, she was looking to catch a break from her kids. She just wanted to be in her car. And she needed adult conversation. So that's how she started. But she's been doing it for years now. The next hero was George. He volunteers with the CNIB. And again, he did this 30 years ago. And then when his children were grown and out of the house, he decided to go back to it. So it's an amazing thing. You can actually kind of, it's not a lifelong commitment. If you want to do it for a couple of weeks, you can then pause if it's not, it's not good for you anymore, and you can go back to it another time. There's always organizations that need you to do this. Joe, it was a 35-year veteran with the police department. So as if he hadn't done enough public service in his life, he retired and decided to volunteer drive from there. And so he has clocked 30,000 kilometers on his car.
So now, these awards that you're talking about, the Canada's Road Heroes Awards, this is all organized by
Kal Tire.
By Kal Tire.
Yeah, so they ran this contest, and then
Is this the first year?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I hope that it'll help. They ran it around Canada Day, obviously, because we're incredibly patriotic this time of year, and it's nice to always focus on the good. I think that we'll see this continue because it inspires you to do more. And, you think about somebody like Joe who put 30,000 kilometers on his car. That is a huge amount of wear and tear on a car that you're putting on. So it's not just your time. It's an expense for your car. It's gas mileage, So on my site, I list all 8, the 3 grand prize winners and then the 5 secondary prize winners, and have a little bit of a profile about each of them. But they all come from really unique backgrounds. So Barbara is one of them who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she made her way to the hospital alone for 35 days of radiation. And she didn't want anybody else to ever have to go through that. So she now volunteers her time, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine that, 35 days alone.
Yeah, that's tough.
Right. And so how amazing is it that she's giving that back and helping people get to where they need to be?
Okay, so tell us how we can read the profiles.
So that's on lifeinpleasantville.com.
Okay.
If you want to see the video, very funny and makes you very proud to be Canadian, you can check out Brittle Star's video on YouTube. And to learn more about Canada's Road Heroes, the contest itself, you can go to caltire.com.
Because I think after this word gets out that they're going to have even more.
Well, I'm running a contest on my
Submissions.
Instagram, so follow along because I want to keep this going. And so I'm going to be looking for some Road Heroes submitted as well on my IG. And there will be a prize pack worth $300 from Cal Tire to give out to the winner.
Ooh, thanks, Candace.
Yeah.